Thank you for visiting our YouTube channel. By the way, my name is Erickson Silo Chavez II, and together with my partner, Miss Mary Joan Arceo, we're going to discuss to you now the limits of indeterminate forms of functions.
So, indeterminate form is an expression involving two functions whose limit cannot be determined solely from the limits of the individual functions.
There are two methods of solving indeterminate forms of functions. It's either factoring or either conjugate method.
In this video, we are going to show you some examples of solving the limits of indeterminate forms using factoring and conjugate.
Indeterminate forms of limits in factorable form. Let's have an example. Limit of x squared plus x minus 12 all over x squared minus 9 as x approaches to 3. So if I'm going to evaluate this would become 3 squared plus 3 minus 12 all over 3 squared minus 9. So 3 squared plus 3 minus 12 is 0, and 3 squared minus 9 is 0. So this is what we call indeterminate form. It means that if we come up with 0 over 0, then we factor the numerator and the denominator. Limit of x squared plus x minus 12 all over x squared minus 9 as x approaches to 3. So what's the sum equals to 1, what the product is negative 12 is x plus 4 and x minus 3. These are different squares, so the factors are x plus 3 and x minus 3. So I have something to cancel. Cancel the common factors. What's left is x plus 4 over x plus 3. Then evaluate 3 plus 4 all over 3 plus 3. This would become 3 plus 4, 7. Then 3 plus 3, 6. So we come up with 7 over 6.
Let's have another set of example using conjugate form. If limit of x minus 3 all over the square root of x plus 22 minus 5 as x approaches to 3. So, we should evaluate it first. 3 minus 3 all over the square root of 3 plus 22 minus 5. So 3 minus 3 is equal to 0, and the square root of 25, or simply 5, minus 5 is equal to 0. So if we come up with 0 over 0, what we're going to use is the conjugate form. We're going to multiply it by its conjugate. So we're going to have the x plus 22 and change the negative to positive. So we have the positive 5 and copy it to its numerator. Quantity of x minus 3 multiplied by the square root of x plus 22 plus 5. If the square root of x plus 22 are multiplied by itself, we come up with a quantity of x plus 22. Multiply the negative 5 to the positive 5, so we come up with a negative 25. The limit of x minus 3 multiplied by the square root of x plus 25. Then x plus 22 minus 5. Then we come up with x minus 3. Then we're going to cancel the common factor. What's left is the square root of x plus 22 plus 5 over 1. Or simply, the square root of x plus 22 plus 5. Next is simply evaluate. So we have the square root of x plus 22 plus 5. So, the square root of 3 plus 22 is equal to the square root of 25, or simply 5. So 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. So therefore, the limit of x minus 3 all over the square root of x plus 22 minus 5 as x approaches to 3 is equal to 10.
Thank you for watching!
We hope you learned something.
For more videos, just click here and subscribe.